I think it's very extreme. So as his sister and someone who loves him and wants him to live a long, happy life, I think it's a little bit of an escape and not necessarily him dealing with the emotions he needs to get through and him moving on.
It's hard to sit here, I guess, sometimes and think back to a certain feeling. You know, they come at random times. They come when I don't know, when I hear something or think of something, just, you know, when I'm out running trails or something. I guess it's kind of my defense mechanism in a way. You know, people joke with me, what are you running from? Or those things when you run those distances. And I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, I think in a way I am running from the pain of a decade ago and just having to go through that and watch Jen go through what she had to go through at the end there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to fully process or recover from it. I mean, it's just a part of life. There is no outside world to me. It's just finishing the task at hand and trying to win the race. So I tend to just tunnel vision my way into the goal for that day, for that race.
He never did anything half-hearted. He always did, you know, went after it, and he's compulsive too. When he gets his mind stuck into it, he does it. He's compulsive. I think that's why he's a good runner, because he can't do anything. He has to do it fully out. I worry about him every day. I still do, because, you know, I don't know what he's doing with his life. Running. You know, he's running. That's interesting. He's running. What is he running from, or what is he running for? I have to think about that now. I definitely think the running helps him. I definitely think the running helps him. I know he's proud of being as good as he is, because that's something special that most people don't have. I mean, he's running. He's a world-class athlete. If you look back when I hired him, there's no way in hell he was a world-class athlete. And then all of a sudden now he's a world-class athlete because his body just allows him to it. I don't know. He wanted more of a serious relationship than just the people at his age were getting, I think. And I think he was mature for his age. He just didn't want to be running after girls. You know, was never Dave, even though he might have tried, all right, and stuff. But I just think Dave became a person. I mean, they met and something clicked there, and they kept on. You know, it just blossomed, and you know, something that was not really should happen. People 20 years apart started developing into a relationship. And it wasn't a fake relationship. It wasn't a relationship based on they were each taking care of themselves at a time of need. And that's how it developed.
So when he first told me that she was sick, this is when I fell apart. You know, I was like, I don't know what happened with me, but I don't think I met her before she was sick.
and he would stay 24 hours. He would sleep by her bedside, on her bed in the hospital, and I would get there, and literally he would leave for 2 hours to go for a run through the city, and so he would run up and down the streets, and I would stay with her, and sometimes she was with it and we could talk and we got to know each other pretty well, and other times she was so out of it and in so much pain that I would just hold her hand and she would sleep. And that was the only time he would leave, was for a 2-hour run when I would force him out of there. So when I say that he truly loved her, watching his commitment to her and his love for her through those hardest stages of a disease and a death process, it changed my life. It made me look at him in a very different way. I looked up to him always as my older brother, but watching him go through Jen's death and being so strong for her and being there for her made me aspire to want to be like him.
During the race, it's how much water do I have in my water bottle? When am I going to take my next nutrition so that I keep my blood sugar up? If I'm trailing the guy in front of me, how far ahead of me is he? Asking for splits at the aid stations, grabbing a banana at the aid station. It becomes like I turn my body into like a race car on a racetrack, thinking about how sore my muscles are and just thinking about how far it is to the next aid station.
And then even later, I know that when she got sick, she was very much trying to prepare him directly and indirectly for in case something happens to her. I remember when I was sitting on her bed when she was sick, and some things that she showed me what David did, what he bought for her, what he wrote to her, and I was like really shocked that he was capable of being so tender. I knew he was tender, but how much he really cared about her.
I mean, yeah, every once in a while you look up and you appreciate the beauty of it, but it's just focused in that moment and completing the task, be it for myself or my team if I'm running for a team. The emotions of it, I think are like checked at the door. They don't come into play at all. I mean, there's hours and hours of training that goes into this, 20, 30 hours a week for months at a time. I think obviously then there's maybe a little more emotion, and if memories and emotions come to a certain point, yeah, I'll cry on the trail, wipe away the tears if something comes back. But if it's a good race and things are going good, you tend to just not think about that stuff. I mean, there's no doubt, I think that what I've been through with losing Jen has definitely made me a stronger person emotionally and mentally. And that I think has molded and helped my ability to race for long distances and to stay focused. Yeah, because running, it makes me feel better. There's a lot of times I don't want to go out the door and do it, like this morning when I'm tired and rather just take a nap. But I know that when I come back from it, whatever happens, chemically in the brain from that release of the endorphins is going to make you feel better. So it's something that I know is going to be a benefit, and that's why I do it.
A part of him is emotionally broken from this experience. I think I spoke to it before. He hasn't let another woman into his life. And some of the women may have had the potential, but when it comes to that sort of love of a woman and those emotions, I think he's broken because of what he went through. And I hope that could be healed. Maybe he hasn't met the right person yet, but I think that's another effect that this has had on him.
sense that I'm hoping that it might be some closure. Coming back from the pinnacle of my career, 2 national championships, 6 months in Europe running, like, it just doesn't get any better than that. But, you know, looking back to a decade ago when it all started, and this wasn't the plan, obviously, that I was going to turn into this athlete. I'm running away from a traditional life, from you know, a 9-to-5 sit at a desk kind of job right now. I'm getting to travel to these amazing places and meet people and probably, I mean, for sure, you know, I had it a decade ago and it was awesome, but I don't know if I want it again. I mean, of course I want it again, but I don't know if I can throw my heart all into another relationship, because I'll always think back to Jen and like what we had and how just easy, and it felt so normal. And I guess I'm scared of that, because I just knew that I was able to give her my entire heart and just be there for no matter what happened. And I just don't feel like I can do that again in a way. Maybe this will bring closure, I don't know. Maybe it'll make me realize that I don't have to run away anymore. That I can really be proud of what I'm doing, and it's okay maybe to have feelings again. I didn't find it through group sessions and therapy. It never came, and I tried every single way I could, and I finally had to just go away for a little while and run.